Your house could contain a business goldmine. This is a business model that can be started with no upfront cost, and it's something that anyone can do from home. I'm going to be going through this business model, telling you all about it, and how I'm actually going to be trying it in 2023. Hello everyone, my name is Ethan Rushock, and 2023 could be the year you start your own business. The economic situation is pretty tough on people, and it might be a great time to start a business from home. And what better business to start than something that requires no upfront cost, just your time. Now, of course, for those that have been following the channel recently, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's reselling. It's buying stuff from a op shop or from a local market or something like that, and then reselling it, normally online on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, and making small profits and rolling those small profits into more stock and more profits. And eventually, you can make a nice little side hustle from this. Now, I'm going to be doing this myself in 2023, which I'll talk more about later on in the video, so make sure you stick around for that. But the great thing with this is it can be started with no upfront cost, and let me tell you how. You can go around your house and find stuff that is lying around the house that you no longer use and sell that to start this business. So what I mean by that is go around, go through your DVD collection. Were you into video games and you've got a bunch of old video games that you don't play anymore? Go around, list them up. Now you can, if you list them on eBay, you will need some starting capital because when you sell that first item, you're going to need to pay for postage. But maybe you don't want to do that and you really want to start this with absolutely nothing. Well, sell those first items on Facebook Marketplace. Offer only pickup, people can come and you got that cash to start with. Go and bake that cash and maybe you've got a couple $100 and now you've got that buffer room where you can start to sell stuff online. Because when you sell online, you're going to have postage you're going to need to pay. But as long as that sale is more than that postage, you're starting to make those profits. Eventually you will run out of stuff around the house to sell. Unless you've got a massive thing and it could take you years. But eventually there is going to be the point that you don't have stuff around the house to sell. And hopefully by this stage you've built up a nice little buffer where you can now start going out and sourcing stock. So you can go to an op shop and look through and find something that you can buy for $5 and sell for $50 online. And it's going to be difficult. It is going to take some learnings and you're going to have items where you lose out on. But the reality is it can be done and lots of people are doing it. A lot of people ask, is it profitable? And yes, it is. It doesn't mean everyone's going to make profit from it and it doesn't mean it's easy. It is going to take hard work and a lot of that hard work is going to be in your research. It's very easy to say go and buy something for $5 and sell it for $50. But you need to know the things that are going to sell for $50 and is it realistic you're going to find them for $5? And the only way that happens is by research. And it's like any business. The more time you spend researching what others are doing in the space, researching your product, researching your service if it's a service-based business. If you can master all of that, then you become quicker and that's when the efficiencies kick in and that's when the profits become better. So let's give a real example. We can go, okay, I've got The Simpsons Season 17 DVD at home and I don't want it anymore. I don't watch it, or I've got it on Disney Plus where I can watch it there. I don't no longer need this DVD. You can easily go onto eBay and we can easily see here, we can search up The Simpsons Season 17 DVD. Now we can see there's a lot of listings here and they're all mixed up, but that's not what we're interested in. We're interested in the filters we can run on eBay. So we're going to scroll down and just look at sold listings because we don't care what people are trying to sell it for. We want to know what it actually sells for. So in this example here, we can see they are selling and we can see one sold for nearly $70 the other day. So if we have this at home and it's in good condition, we may be able to get $70 for it, for instance. Now people start going, yeah, but you got to pay postage and what about fees? Well, let's run through an example. So say we managed to sell this item for $70. We're going to probably pay, say around about the $10 mark in eBay fees. And we might pay around the $10 mark in postage because we want to send this one with tracked postage because it is worth a decent amount. We're still left with $50. So if that's an item you've sourced from around the home, that's $50 that you've now got as a starting point to start this small business. And it didn't require any upfront investment. Like I said before, there might be a little bit of cash you need to start this because you're going to have to pay that $10 in postage. eBay may not pay this money out to you for a few weeks because you're a new seller. But if you sold these initially on Facebook Marketplace to get that little bit of buffer room, you're already set. You're set to go. You've got a couple $100 there as a cash buffer to cover you for those initial sales. One thing I would highly recommend if you're thinking about doing this as a business is deciding what you're going to sell and to start with really narrowing it down to a couple categories or even one category and learning the ins and outs of that better than anyone else. So maybe you're really into clothing and you've got a lot of clothing and it's, you know, good quality stuff that you could start by selling. And you're going to start by looking around the house and just searching those things up, seeing what they're worth, and getting those listed. And you're going to start to learn that category. And then you might even want to narrow down, you go, hey, I just want to sell sports jerseys. That's my thing I'm going to focus on to start with. You can then walk into a Savers, for instance, and just start searching through those sports jerseys that you can find. Hey, yep, I know that one's worth something. No, those three aren't, that is. And you're starting to learn that category in and out. And therefore you can quickly go through those items. And suddenly it might take you half an hour at the start to go through a store and see if there's anything worth it. In the future, you might be able to do that in 5 minutes. So by really putting the time in and putting the research in, you can really build up a knowledge base that allows you to be so much more efficient and therefore so much more profitable in the long term. The great thing is there's a lot of other YouTubers, for instance, that are doing this. My good friend Chris does this all the time and he shares his progress on YouTube. So go and check out his channel. I've got other people that are doing it. 2 Aussie Thrifters, for instance. They've got so much content over on their channels where they're going through this. And the great thing, if you're wanting more content about how the actual setup of a business would go, that's what I'm going to be doing here on this channel in 2023, alongside all of my other content. But I want to show you how you'd start a business from scratch from an accountant's point of view. And I'm going to be using this reselling business as an example. So I'm going to start by finding some stuff around the house, selling it, building out a bit of a cash buffer, showing you how you would reconcile that in accounting software and on a spreadsheet, and then showing you the ins and outs of how you would actually run a successful business. Now, I'm not expecting to make huge profits from this because it is something I'm doing on the side, and I'm more doing it as the example to show you guys how an accountant would set these things up. But the actual business model definitely can work, and it is working for so many people. I have quite a few clients that are in this space, and some of them are doing hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue a year. So it can be done. It is a lot of work to get to that stage. I'm not saying this is a get rich overnight scheme, but it is definitely a business idea you can start from home in 2023. Now, I've already done a video talking about the structuring on this, and that will be coming up next, talking about should you start as a sole trader or do you need to set up a company? So go and check that one out, and make sure you've also hit the subscribe button before you head over there. And I'll talk to you again on the next video.